All yoga starts with the breath. So come onto your mat. First, we're going to ground and make sure that our posture is nice and tall in our mountain pose. So the feet are about hip-width distance apart. If you put your hands on your hip bones and point your fingers down, you'll find your feet right below your fingers when you're hip-width distance apart. So this is a good base of support here. Okay, and you can just let your hands come down by your side. Now think about grounding through the four corners of the feet. So we start with the big toe mound. We go to the outer heel, inner heel, little toe mound. Lift all 10 toes, spread them out, and bring them back down to the earth. Okay, nice and spread out. So you've got a big base of support here. Feel your feet attached to the earth and start to draw energy up the legs. Okay. And now we think about the hips being over the ankles, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, and palms forward. Okay. So we're nice and tall here, inhaling and exhaling. All right. And let's breathe here. Welcome everybody who just joined us. We're finding mountain pose and breathing. Okay, remember to go at your own pace, and remember to give me a sign if you want me to show chair options at any time that I haven't shown. So let's let the breath smooth out and deepen slightly. So what we're doing here is we're letting the breath open up the various energy centers of the body here. And now let's add some arms to this movement. So with the palms turned out and the feet still grounded, start to draw your arms up as you inhale. Now pay attention to your shoulders. If your shoulders are saying this is far enough, that's far enough. If your shoulders start to hunch towards your ears, drop them away from your ears and bring your arms up as far as is you right this moment. Take your palms to touch and exhale your hands to heart center. Let's do that again. So we always breathe in through the nose. We press down to lift up, raise those arms, draw energy up with us, touch the palms, and now bring that energy to the heart. Now just turn your gaze towards your fingertips, towards your heart. Take a breath here and think about what your intention for your practice today is. Sometimes it's thinking about what brings you to the mat. Sometimes your practice is to help somebody else in your mind. And let's take another deep breath into that intention. Draw the arms up, palms touch, and hands come heart center. And release. Now we want to warm our bodies up a bit, so let's go ahead and let the knees and hips bend and shake the arms out. The feet were hip-width distance apart. For this, you might take them a little wider, just get a good base of support. Shake around a little bit. Okay, all right. Now we are going to start a spinal series. We want to move the spine in the 6 directions that it goes, forward and back, side to side, and twisting. We'll start with the forward and back in our cats and cows. Okay, these can be done in a chair. It's always good to know this. If you have a chair handy, go ahead and sit down. Otherwise, just bend at the knees and hips and put your hands on your thighs. Okay, so we're going to just arch the back, shine the heart forward. Now we gaze up, but we don't throw the head all the way back. And then round the spine, gaze towards your lap. So it's arch, this is called the cow, like the sway back of a cow, and round, this is the hunchback of a cat when they get a little angry, upset. Okay, so you can do it seated, which again, it's good to know because you do sit in a chair at some point during the day, right? And you can just move into this spinal movement. Whenever you're seated, you want your feet to be in close contact with the earth, grounding here. This is the standing cat and cow. And then the next time you're rounded forward, just roll your hands up your legs and come to a long spine, whether you're seated or you're back to standing, okay? All right. So that was the cat and cow. Now we're going to move the spine side to side, okay? So in honor of our waning crescent moon, we're going to draw the arms up. Remember, you might be here, you might be here. Interlace the fingers and point the index fingers toward the sky, okay? And then we're going to tilt to the left and up and tilt to the right. And since the body has to start warming up, we're going to go gently side to side, okay? Keep going. If you're in the chair, you're going to pay attention and make sure that your hips are staying grounded in the chair. If you're standing, you want to make sure your feet stay grounded. As you move through this, you'll probably notice that you can go just a little deeper, a little deeper. Good. And then the next time you're over to the left, stay here, okay? And we're going to release the arms parallel to the earth. Press those left fingertips away. Bring it up, interlace the fingers again, take it over to the right, feel that beautiful stretch in the left side, take the arms parallel, press the right fingertips away. Inhale up, and that was kind of intense, slow movement, so let's just go ahead and release a little bit again. Okay, if you're in a chair, you're just gonna let yourself go. If you're standing, your knees and hips will move as well. And shake it out. All right, so the final two directions for our spinal series is twisting. So for this particular twist, we're going to take the feet wider than hip width distance. We're going to take the left arm across to the right, right arm across to the left. Let the lower body move. Let the back heel lift. Okay? Side to side. Now in the chair, you're going to be twisting side to side like this. All right, now you can start moving your hands a little lower toward the earth. As low as you want. So you might stay pretty high. You might be almost touching the floor. And then come back up to center. And then we're going to reach up, depending on your shoulders. Yep. Okay. Same thing in the chair, reach, 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 reach. All right, and then start to take yourself back to center. Inhale and exhale. All right, if you are in a chair, you can stay there. Come to the top of your mat, standing. We'll be working our way down to the earth here. So find your mountain pose again. Remember the feet are grounded, everything's lined up, hips over ankles, shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders. The palms forward helps open the heart. Keep that breath moving. Inhale, float your arms up. Now exhale, bend your knees and hips and let your hands come to your thighs here. So this is a half lift, we shine the heart forward. Now continue bending the knees and hips. Bring your fingertips down to the earth and walk your feet back until you're in that inverted V downward facing dog. Okay, if you're in a chair, just take your legs long, fold forward, and bring your hands down. Yes, shine your heart forward. All right, now let's go ahead and from your down dog, bring your knees down, sit off to the side. If you're in a chair, just bring your feet in. And come into seated mountain pose. So nice and tall, yep. Nice long spine here. Okay, this is the seated mountain pose, so the feet are flexed. If you're sitting on the mat, your feet are flexed as though you were still standing on the floor. Okay, if you're in a chair, you're at the edge of your seat with your feet grounded. Everybody's spine is long. Inhale and exhale. We'll turn the palms out, take a nice long inhale up. Exhale the hands to heart center. And release, shake it out. All right, so at this point in our practice, we like to work our core, okay? So we're going to be doing a dead bug sequence to work the core. Okay, we're going to bring the feet in, lay down, spine on the mat, lay back, hands by your side, okay? And we're going to extend the right leg and bring the left arm back. Take the right leg back in, foot down, arm down, left leg, right arm back, left leg in, foot down, arm down. If you're on the mat, just continue doing that. And if you're in a chair, you're going to do pretty much the same thing. Right leg, left arm. Okay, so in the chair, remember, you'll be doing pretty much the same thing we're doing. Let me know if you need more specifics as we move through this. So that was the 2 feet down version of dead bug. The next time you go left leg, right arm, you'll be even and bring it down. Now we're going to do 1 leg up version. So lift your right leg to tabletop, extend your right leg, bring your left arm back. Bring your right knee back to tabletop. You can probably feel that having your right leg up makes your core work a little harder. Maybe a lot harder. And 1 more on the right. And bring it down. Now take your left knee up to tabletop. Tabletop means the knee is in line with the hip here, and your calf is parallel to the floor. Okay? So left leg up, left leg extends, right arm back, bring it in. And again, left and right, left and right, left and right. And one last time, left and right, and bring it in. So you can continue to work with 2 feet down the way, well, let's all try this together. Put 2 feet to the mat. We're going to do the double leg version. 2 feet to the mat, arms by your side. Extend both arms and both legs and bring it in. In the chair, same thing. It's pretty challenging in the chair. Both arms and both legs and bring it in. Yes, let's see it. Both arms, both legs. Good. And bring it in. Both arms, both legs. And bring it in. All right. Bring it in for a moment. If you are in the chair, you're going to alternate. You're not going to lift both knees because that makes everything super hard. Okay? Now, you've had your feet down. You've had 1 knee up. Let's take 2 knees up and see if this works for you. If it doesn't, you can bring your feet back down. Okay? All right, so 2 knees up. Here we go. We're going to take right leg forward, left arm back. Bring it in. Left leg forward, right arm back. Bring it in. Right leg, left arm. And in, left leg, right arm. So we're alternating in. Okay, you might be doing it with your feet down, depending on where you feel it today. Right leg, left arm, left leg, right arm. The next time you do left leg, right arm, you'll be even if you started with the right leg, left arm. Bring your knees in and hug them in. If you're sitting in the chair, just bring your feet down and let your knees move side to side. Okay, so we're getting a little side to side rocking here. Inhale and exhale. All right, now we're going to review a super helpful exercise for the hips called water wheel. Okay, your hips are going to love you for doing this. So with 2 feet to the mat, okay, be on the mat if at all possible. I will show a chair variation, but if you can be on the mat, please be on the mat. Okay, so here we go. We take the right knee in, right leg straight up, point the toe, flex your right foot, and bring the right leg down. Knee in, point up, flex down. That's the water wheel. Okay. Keep going. Your hip really enjoys this movement. Here it is in the chair. Now, the next time your right knee is in, hold it in, flex your right foot, and we reverse. Flex out, point up, knee in, out and up and in. Keep going, yeah. So right now your hip is saying, wow, thank you so much. Isn't it? Yep. All right. Hold your right knee in and hold on to your hamstring. Some people like to hold their shin. Hamstring or shin is fine here. And we're going to let the right leg open out to the right and come back to center. Out to the right and come back to center. So we went in a circle. Now we're going side, just out to the right side and center. Side and center. Okay. Now hold at center. Take your left hand outside of your right arm. Take your right arm out from the shoulder and let that right knee come just past the belly button. And then let that right knee come more to the left. Your right hip is going to lift, but your right shoulder, if you're on the mat, is going to stay connected to the mat. So we're here. Okay, and you can straighten that left leg any amount here. As you come back through center, take your right ankle across your left thigh and draw your legs in towards you. Now we're in a pigeon position. Flex your right foot, hold on to your right shin, and let your legs move side to side. Let's see these pigeons. Yep, pick your left foot up off the floor and draw your right shin. Yes, now draw your right shin in closer to you for pigeon. Yep. Okay, and you can just keep moving that hip. Okay, if you're in the chair, it's going to look more like this. Just going side to side. Maybe leaning your body forward and back a few times. All right, and release, unwind, and bring both feet back down to the mat. Yeah, now we do water wheel on the left, okay? So, left knee in, leg up, point the toe, flex the foot, bring it down, knee in, point up, flex down on the left. Now your left hip is getting happy. It was feeling like, what about me? What about me? All right, go ahead and bring that left knee in. Hold it in. We're about to reverse. Flex your left foot. Flex out, point up, knee in. Take it out and up and in. Out, up, and in, and keep going. So now the next time the left knee is in, we're going to hold it in. Hold on to the left hamstring or shin, okay? And take your left leg out to the left and back to center. Out and back, good. All right, now come back to center. Take your right hand outside of your left leg, extend your left arm from your shoulder. Let that right leg straighten any amount and let your left knee come just past your belly button. Okay, I already showed how to do this in the chair. And now let your left hip come up as that left leg comes further over to the right. So, okay, and let's come back to center. Okay, we're going to take the left ankle across the right thigh. Make sure that that left foot is flexed. Draw the legs in, the right foot's off the mat, and move the hips around. So we're in a figure 4 position. This is what it looks like from the front. Okay, your left ankle is across your right thigh. You're holding on to your left shin. Let's see this. Yes, move those hips around and then release, unwind. Now we're just going to let the knees gently open and close, whether you're seated or laying down. We've got little butterfly wings happening here with the legs. All right, bring it back up. And we're going to come to hands and knees. So roll over to your side, okay? Make sure you have enough padding for your knees and come into the hands and knees position. Now, if this is not good for your wrists or your knees, we've got the chair version with your hands on the seat of the chair. Sometimes the back of the chair feels better for some people, okay? And what we're going to do from here is lift the right leg. Point the toes toward the floor. The right leg is hip height. Okay? Now stabilize. Your core is engaged here and float your left arm up by your ear. So bring the knee and hand down. Okay? And take your left leg up, your left toes point down, your core is engaged, your right arm floats up by your ear. So this is often called bird dog. It's an opposite arm, opposite leg balance. Really uses the core, helps improve balance, and is good for your posture too, because let's do this again on the right leg, left arm, so you can feel that nice lengthening of the spine here. And bring the right leg down, left hand down, and left leg, right arm. And bring it down. Okay, so now we're going to come to a child's pose. That's also a nice lengthener for the spine. Bring your big toes together. Take your knees wide apart. If you have a block nearby, just keep it handy just in case you want it. Set your hips toward your heels and start to bring your head toward the mat. Traditionally, the arms are long here. If your head doesn't reach the mat, you can make a pillow with your hands. You can make a pillow with your fists, or you can slide a block under your forehead. So in child's pose, we do not want the head just dangling in space because the neck does not like that. Okay, so if you're using a chair, you can do child's pose like this, or you can sit down and just do child's pose like this. Just experiment with which feels better to you right now. And now from child's pose, we're going to start walking the hands back toward the shoulders, come up, tuck the toes. We're coming into down dog. Lift the hips, press up and back. So we're in their inverted V, downward facing dog. And we're going to walk this dog by bending one knee and then the other. So this is a nice massage for the feet. It builds a lot of flexibility in the toes and ankles when we do this. Okay, so if you're at the chair, you'll be doing the same thing. Now press one heel down and hold. Switch sides, press the other heel down and hold. Both heels down and hold. And then walk your feet towards your hands. Bend the knees. Bring your forearms to your thighs. Touch your palms together. Press through the feet. Inhale. The arms up. And exhale down. So in the chair, you're walking your feet forward toward the chair. You're still bending your knees. Bring your forearms to your thighs. Press through the feet. Lift up. And we're all back in mountain pose. Inhale and exhale. All right, how's everybody doing? We good? Thumbs up, yeah? All righty. So we're going to work on a little balance now. So feel free to have your chair by your right side. You could also touch your hand to a wall, or you could not use anything, okay? If you're using the chair, you want to have the, what is this called? The back of the chair, the higher side, with your hand on that. It's not a crutch, so this is not how we balance, right? We're just lightly touching. It's a light touch. So let's come. 3 things that we really need for good balance. One is that firm foundation. So remember the 4 corners of the feet. Lift the toes, spread them out, bring them back down. So we're really grounded through the feet here, and we're drawing energy up through the legs. You'll feel your thighs really engage here and come into that beautiful posture that you had earlier, everything lined up, palms forward. Okay, so that's our strong base of support. Now, another thing we need is a steady gaze. So just look straight ahead, find a spot that isn't moving, okay? And we want a calm mind. So inhale through the nose and just take a big exhale through the mouth. Just let go of every kind of concern about balance because we're taking it slow and everything will be fine. So the chair is on your right side if you're using a chair, okay? And you can just bring your left hand to your left hip here, raise your left heel. Yes, if you want to just go ahead and do either a tree or a sun and moon practice, students, please go ahead. We're going to raise the left heel. We're going to make sure we're still standing tall on our right leg and bring that left knee up, okay? So we're balancing on one foot, light touch on the chair, and if it starts to feel okay to you, just float your right hand away from the chair. Just float it away and bring everything down. Inhale and exhale. All right, now we're going to do that again. Left knee, and if you want to float your right arm up at the same time, feel free. Otherwise, do the steps that we did. And if you want to go even higher with the right arm, go ahead. You'll be in sun and moon. Practice students, you know this, so just move in and out of your sun and moon and release. So when we balance, sometimes the body wiggles, wobbles, the foot comes down, comes back up. This is all learning balance. It's all perfect, okay? If you are using the chair for a little steadiness here, left hand is now on the chair, right hand to the hip. Remember, this is a light touch. left heel, this is your right heel up, right knee. Steady gaze, calm mind. And maybe that left hand floats up, maybe there's a wobble happening there. Release, and we come back to standing, okay? And we're going to do that again. Right leg, left arm, up we go. Maybe the left arm comes higher up. You'll be amazed at how holding that steady gaze is helpful, and bring it down. Did you know that walking is actually a balancing act? Okay? When we walk, we're constantly throwing ourselves off balance and coming back into balance. And that's the same thing we're doing here. So if you wind up off balance a little bit, that's fine. Let's go back to the right side here. Plant the feet. Okay, and one more time, we're going, we're going to go left knee, option right arm. We're in sun and moon. And release. And then you can leave your chair where it is, or you can move it. Right knee, left arm. And release. All right. So if you have a chair, just go ahead and put your hands on the back of the chair. If you're near a wall, put your hands on the wall. We're just going to do a spinal stretch. And if you're standing, just come into a forward fold, high or low, just to stretch out the spine here. Okay, now everybody bring your hands to your hips, press through the feet, stand tall, and release. Good. All right, we're going to work on Warrior Two now. It's a wide-legged pose, so you want to turn on your mat whatever direction allows you to have your legs wide. Okay. Now I have shown you guys this seated, like completely seated. You can also just use the chair for a little stability. It is a very stable pose, so we'll start out standing, and you'll let me know if you want to see any chair options. Take the legs super wide here. And by super wide, I mean if you take your arms out and you drop an imaginary line from your wrist to your ankle, that's pretty much where your ankle will be. Same thing on the other side. Drop an imaginary line from your wrist to your ankle. That's your wide leg. Now bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right toes to face to the right. Square off that foot. Remember the big toe mound, outer heel, inner heel, little toe mound, feet, the toes are spread wide. Ground through the back foot the same way. And then start to bend your right knee so that it's over your ankle. It's not here past the ankle, it's over the ankle. In some cases, that might be a little too deep, it might be a little behind the ankle, or it's over the ankle. Okay, let's go ahead and take the shoulders over the hips. Make sure this back leg is feeling super strong. And float the arms out from the shoulders. Now look at your back arm, because that sometimes has a tendency to want to drop. Back arm is in line with the shoulders. Turn your gaze towards your right fingertips and just feel steady and strong here. If it suits you better, you can have one hand on the chair. Okay? If you really feel like sitting down, let me know. I'll demonstrate this. I actually think it's more difficult to do this seated than standing. And let's bring the hands to the hips and turn all 10 toes forward. Then we'll do the Warrior Two on the left. So take your left foot to the left, ground through that foot. The toes are facing straight out to the left. The legs are still that wide that we found earlier. This time bend your left knee, ground through the right foot, the back leg The right leg stays long. Shoulders over hips. So this is important. A lot of people wind up here in Warrior Two. We call this Eager Warrior. We want the shoulders over the hips. Check your back arm. Turn your gaze past your left fingertips. And you're in Warrior Two. Now this is very balancing. It's very calming. We just focus on gazing past those left fingertips. It's very grounding. And bonus, it's very strengthening for the legs. All right, now bring your hands to your hips. Turn all 10 toes forward, okay? And we're just going to put our index fingers right in the hip creases. If you prefer to sit, have a seat, because we're going into a forward fold. We're keeping the spine long, and we're slowly going to come forward. If this is far enough, stop there. If halfway is good, go there. If farther down is good, go there. And from wherever you are, let your hands slide down your legs. So you could be here, here, here. You could also be seated here, here, or here. And take a few deep breaths. Now, forward folds are beautiful for just reconnecting with yourself, taking a moment to recenter, to go in deep. Now, from wherever you are, come halfway up between wherever you are and upright, and then come the rest of the way up. We always want to stop halfway, take a breath so that we don't get dizzy on our way up. Now our legs are still wide. We're going to heel toe the feet together and then step out, step around, shake things out. All right, how's everybody doing? We're going to be heading back down. You could be heading toward a chair, in which case just, go ahead and grab your chair. Okay, otherwise come to the top of the mat. Float the arms up, inhale. Exhale into your swan dive. We're still folding over the hip creases. We're still going to your desired depth. High, low, anywhere in between. Bend the knees and hips, hands to the thighs. Same thing if you're in the chair. Shine your heart forward. And then keep bending the knees and hips. Bring your hands down. We're stepping back to downward facing dog. One more time. Let's see those dogs. Okay, in the chair, you're just going to extend your legs and draw your arms forward. Yep. So find your down dog. And now bring your knees down. Sit off to the side. If you're in the chair, you just bring your feet in. Sit off to the side and come back into seated mountain pose. We are almost done. You guys are doing great. Sit up nice and tall. And let's just loosen up everything, shake things up. And we're going to do 2 very soft forward folds. So just let your arms gently float up and just melt forward. There's no goal here. We're not trying to touch the toes. We're just in a nice little forward fold. Roll your hands up your legs, float your arms up and melt. And roll your hands up your legs. Okay, if you're in the chair, just bring your feet back under you. If you're on the mat, bend the knees and roll yourself down. Okay, we're going to extend the right leg, both arms overhead, and bring the right knee in. Okay, the left foot's still on the mat. We can hold here either the shin or the hamstring of the right leg. This is a finishing pose called Ardha Appanasana. Okay, bring your right foot down. Now extend your left leg, 2 arms up. Bring your left foot in. Remember, I showed you how to do this in the chair, just holding your hamstring here. Ardha Appanasana on the left. Now extend both legs. If you're in the chair, go back into right and then left. If you're on the mat, bring both knees in. Hold on to your shins or your hamstrings. This is the full wind removing pose, Appanasana. And then bring your feet back down to the mat. Let your knees open and close, little gentle butterfly wings. Okay, we're going to work the hands and fingers here. So you can extend your arms out and extend through the fingers, wiggle into a gentle fist. Extend and wiggle, and then rotate the wrists one direction and the other. Bring your hands down. If you're on the mat, just let your head turn side to side. If you're on a chair, let your left ear drop towards your left shoulder, right ear to right shoulder. Okay, so either of these to release the neck. Now come back to center and start to scan your body from head to toe. If you're on a chair, just sit back. Now you finally get to relax into your chair. So you're finally sitting back with the back of the chair supporting you. Okay? If you're on the mat, just go ahead, scan your body, everybody, from head to toe. See if anything feels like it wants to wiggle around or move. And we're going to start finding our final relaxation position for this practice. So if it feels more restful for your spine to have your knees bent, keep your knees bent. If your spine feels okay with the legs straight, straighten your legs. Your hands are by your side with the palms forward. Okay, and we feel the earth supporting us here. Take a nice inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And either defocus or close your eyes. Okay, final relaxation in the chair. You're just sitting all the way back, your hands on your lap. And everybody's breath is just smoothly moving in and out while your body absorbs the benefits of all the work that you just did in your practice. So now slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your space. And gently invite your breath to deepen. Start to bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And on your next inhale, stretch your arms and legs long, whether you're on the mat or seated. Exhale, draw your knees in. If you're on the mat, bring them into your chest. Otherwise, just bring your feet back to the mat. And roll over to a side. Help yourself back up to a nice, easy seat. Take your time getting up so that you don't get dizzy. Remember, yoga is all about honoring your body at all times, right? That means your pace, your movements. And we'll bring our hands to our heart. Turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit. Thank and honor yourself for your practice. And we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.
Thank you, Lucy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,